violence flared between pro and anti-Trump demonstrators.
See this guy, I don't know what I said,
for my life.
Right. When they say that, I say, he isn't, but I have insurance.
Hey.
What's good, YouTube? Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to Season 3. I'm back on my bullshit. The right time to save your minds, that is. So let's get started. We in a new decade. Everybody in the world got issues, but ain't nothing worse than NYC.
What did you just say?
Out of all the states, New York seems like the only state that can't get its shit together, including the Bronx.
In a moment. What did you just say?
New York has been on life support for a long time now. I know cause I live here and witnessed the bullshit.
Fuck you!
New York never changed for the better. It's all a melting pot of issues within this state. New York is like a dysfunctional family member that causes problems and acts like it did nothing wrong. New York used to be the shit. Now it became the shit. But why is New York like this? But why is New York always rude? Why is everybody miserable? Here's my list of reasons why New York has issues. Despite the fact that it's happening everywhere, New York gets hit the hardest. I'm talking about gentrification. For example, if you see any white or Asian people in your urban neighborhoods, that's a sign. If you see condos, co-ops, or 5-star hotels, that's a sign. If you notice that NYC is turning the projects into private sectors, especially in their language, that's a sign. If you see Starbucks around urban areas, that's a sign. Shit, if you see a lot of storage unit stores or organic stores around the area, that's a sign. Shit, if you see city bikes or more bike lanes around your hood, or white people jogging in your hood, or walking their little poodles with no fare, that's most definitely a sign. Listen, I'm not trying to be funny at all, but this is happening as we speak. Gentrification mainly on poor neighborhoods, by renovating and buying up the area, and getting rid of anything that's meant for the culture. They even have a map on what's going on. They don't care about the community. They will take your shit and won't even hire you while they in your community. They will bring other ethnicities who don't speak English and will take your community over. You gotta thank Mike Bloomberg for bringing that in New York, making rich people move in and move poor people out. If you find out your rent is being raised up, best believe it's a sign. It's because of this New York has been suffering, which explains the homeless rate in our city. The funny thing about this is the fact that they don't think what they're doing is wrong. White and Asian people are owning up everything, while the Latinos are taking people's shit. If anything, they expect black people to move back to ATL. They say all of this is good business, but whose fault is it for making it this way? That's right, your pussy ass politicians. All of them had contributed of bringing New York down. They give you empty promises that you wish they could fix, but instead, they're getting rich. All of them contribute of making stupid laws. Just look at our mayor, Bill de Blasio. Dude been annoying homelessness ever since he stepped in office. He made promises to fix it, and even told folks that the homelessness rate was dropping. Instead, he broke the law by sending homeless people to New Jersey.
Oh no, he didn't.
New Jersey politicians were pissed at what he did. De Blasio also doesn't support marijuana, along with the crazy dummies. But he reduced prosecution of cannabis possession. But you can still get a summons or go to jail. Depends on the amount of weed. De Blasio is the same dude who didn't fire the cop who killed Eric Garner. De Blasio and Alexandria Cortez were the same people who didn't want Amazon to come to New York.
Say what?
They feel Amazon might hurt the economy. They missed the perfect opportunity to give New York jobs. They said de Blasio was way worse than Jimmy Walker. Nah, not him. This dude. De Blasio thought he should be in 2020 presidential race, but got kicked out quick because people weren't tolerating his shit. How can you run for presidency when you can't even do your job as a mayor? What's worse is how he eats pizza with a fork. Yeah, you ain't no real New Yorker. Then we have the queen of idiots. Nah, this woman. This woman been doing and saying the dumbest shit ever since she got noticed.
You're talking about zero carbon emissions, no use of fossil fuels within 12 years?
That is the goal. It's ambitious. And
how is that possible? You're talking about everybody having to drive an electric car?
It's going to require a lot of rapid change that we don't even conceive as possible right now.
Well, people look at her as the leader of Democrats because she's a woman. But what has she done for New York lately? Majority of her issues are with Donald Trump. Climate change, LGBTQ, and illegal immigrants.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
Yeah, no question.
How can you say that?
When you look at the words that he uses, which are historic dog whistles of white supremacy, when you look at how he reacted to the Charlottesville incident where neo-Nazis murdered a woman, versus how he manufactures crises like immigrants seeking legal refuge.
When did you ever hear her do anything for New York?
What have you done for me lately?
Besides the Amazon deal she turned down, or her doing the Women's March in New York and did her horrible speech, or her coming to Queensbridge to support her buddy Bernie Sanders. None of it doesn't apply of her doing something for New York. Being with Jesus and Muriel makes you somebody? Yeah, but we all know that crazy people comes from the Bronx.
What did you just say?
Andrew Cuomo ain't no better. The only thing I agree with Andrew is America was never great, which is true.
It's damn true.
But with all of the corrupt shit he's been doing, how is he still in office? Isn't being the governor supposed to be 4 years? I feel like he's been doing this shit way too long. It'll be good for New York for the moment, but he'll be back making New York suffer as usual. This the same dude who supports abortion rights law, saying it's okay to murder babies until birth. With that much excitement, this dude is just plain evil. He also supports gun reforms and passed multiple gun laws, making it hard to get a gun permit in New York. It's because of him that e-cigarette flavors are banned from New York. He wants people to smoke cigarettes again. Chuck Schumer ain't shit either. As old as the dude is, he needs to get out of office immediately. This the same asshole who just recently gave illegal immigrants driver license. As bad as New York traffic is, you know there's going to be car accidents. Chuck be creating stupid nonsense laws and Cuomo be passing them. Majority of New York politicians are Democrats, which is the reason why New York is all fucked up. Whether it's giving good laws to Jews and gays or illegal immigrants, they will never help New Yorkers out. The agenda remains the same. It's all in the game. If anybody from New York knows, New York is too expensive. New York claims that there's affordable housing, that it's possible of getting your own crib out here. A famous black man once said,
Rent is too damn high. These people are suffering day and night. And I'll be doggone if I'm gonna let you come and ask me a question about me when these people can't afford to pay their rent.
I understand.
They cannot afford to pay their rent. They cannot afford to pay their rent.
LA isn't the only ones that's suffering. New York has been number one on high expenses. Our government haven't done anything about it. New York is becoming a state for the rich. See, people think we're living like this, when really we're living like this.
Wow.
They expect you to live in a pay rate of $70,000 to $100,000 when people's pay rate is $15,000 to $40,000 annually. This is all planned and designed to bring us down. If it's not the rent, it's the food. If it's not the food, it's the car fare. If it's not car fare, it's clothes, and it'll go on and on and on. Every New Yorker is struggling. People want to get their own crib, but it seems impossible. People out here are having 2 or 3 jobs just to keep an apartment. People got to spend over $1,000 for a one-room studio. They tell people to go online and apply for Section 8 or NYCHA. But there's a long list where you have to wait on them to respond to you. That shit takes years for them to respond. It's bad enough it's hard to find a job in New York. And it don't matter if you have a degree, you're still struggling. They just raised the pay rate to $15 an hour. That shit ain't enough. Not even $22 an hour isn't enough.
Yes, it is.
They'll tell you a 9 to 5 is necessary, but that's a lie. But in order to live, you need a roommate. To share a crib with strangers you don't know. You'll have to take a risk living out here. If you expect to live in a cheap apartment, expect yourself to live in a bad, poor area. That's why everybody is living in the Bronx or Brooklyn more. But certain areas are fucked up and not safe to live. Manhattan and Queens are too expensive to live, so you'll have to live in the poor neighborhoods. Why you think people from New York are moving out? Our government expect black people to go back in the South because they want their shit back. The Bronx is known for craziest people in New York.
What did you just say?
The Bronx have bad air quality and has the highest rating of asthma in New York. The Bronx is like Florida, sad to say, but they don't want to admit it.
Fuck you!
With gentrification going on and how expensive New York is, leads to this on the list. New York been suffering with homelessness for a minute, and it seems like it gets worse and worse each year. Your politicians ignore these issues and never talk about how bad New York shelters are. I never understood how we got a lot of condos and hotels, but not enough shelters.
Mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, step, crush.
New York shelters are bad and overcrowded. They also have to worry about bed bugs and people stealing their shit. That's why some New Yorkers are living in the streets. It's sad that people walk past a human being and won't help them. But if they see an animal homeless, they'll take care of them. They all over the train station because of the cold weather. So now New Yorkers have to suffer with their bad odor. Or move to the next cart because some could be asleep and taking over the seats. Or worry about diseases or them touching things or
It's a bum. What?
and shit like that. It's not easy living in New York. They say it's the big city of dreams. New York's a great place to visit and looks glamorous until you see what New York actually looks like. It looks dead when you see a group of them looking lifeless. Most of them have mental illness or addicted to drugs, and most of their hangouts is majority in the MTA. If you thought homelessness is bad, check out this next list. Then comes the MTA.
Damn it, come on.
Who would have thought that the greatest city of the world has the most fucked up transportation in the world? If you want to be at the dirtiest place in New York, come to MTA. If you want to see homeless people sleep and pee on the subway, come to the MTA. If you want to be in the train by rush hour and get squashed by crowded people, come to the MTA. You could go to the MTA and practically see everything. And I mean that literally. There are a lot of different race and personalities in NYC. At times, you get annoyed by the craziest shit you see, like Mexicans singing for money, or Showtime niggas dancing like strippers. It gets annoying when you can't get a seat while it's crowded. It's annoying when a bunch of teenagers start some shit with tired adults, but get excited when you see them get their ass beat. It gets annoying when the trains are fucked up, so you have to transfer to another train, just to realize that the train's going local and you'll be late for work. What's more annoying is the amount of errors or swipes on your Metro card, just to realize the machine took your money and you have to put more in it. What makes matters worse is you trying to put money in the card, and the machine doesn't take cash or credit. Then go to the booth people to help you, but their lazy asses don't want to do their job, so they tell you to use the vending machine. Then when you go, you realize some of the machines are out of service.
Those motherfuckers!
And you want to know why people hop over turnstiles. New York politicians keep raising the fares up to the point people can't get to their destination. People can't afford to go to work or school. Can you imagine what a New Yorker is thinking right now?
That's f***ed up with you.
It's annoying when bad weather comes in and slows down the trains. So now you got to take shuttle buses with crowded people. You have to worry about crazy people who rape or attack you. You have to worry about people who might push you on the tracks. MTA is known for train deaths. You have to worry about alcoholics throwing up and starting shit with people. You have to worry about junkies and misfits scheming around you. You have to worry about cops giving you unnecessary tickets to you. Shit, you have to worry about cops chasing you when you hop over turnstiles. So the only option is to sneak behind buses. It's annoying when you have to worry about beggars who ask for you money. Then when you tell them no, they harass you even more. You have to worry about Port Authority and Long Island railroads being delayed. So now you have to wait for hours to get to your destination. You have to worry about niggas fighting and arguing in the trains. Shit, you have to worry about niggas starting shit with you and hope you're not in World Star. Some of the weirdest shit is in the MTA as well. You got people who bring tray tables and start eating in front of people. You got drag queens or trannies being flamboyant and creating a scene. You got people painting their bodies or dressing up just for attention. You got to worry about this, and even this. New York have to worry about rats. Yes, rats. Rats in New York act like humans. Because New York is so filthy and they like to litter a lot, rats became comfortable and studied us. It's beginning to be too much, as the rats is being overpopulated. They're in your stores, your restaurants, your cribs, but predominantly in the Bronx. But they all over the MTA. Now they are climbing into you with no fare. We have big ass rats that's bigger than a dog and a donkey. We have so many videos where New Yorkers are running from rats. Overall, New Yorkers are tired. Just now, Andy Byford just resigned from MTA Commissioner. The same motherfucker who thinks he could change New York. But he's from Canada.
Hey, what?
De Blasio hired a dude from Canada. What the fuck a Canadian dude knows about New York's MTA? You'd think that our government give us better transportation, but instead, we get to suffer. Either way, all of this makes New Yorkers stressed the fuck out. If you think New York has suffered enough, guess again. All of New York sports teams sucks. New York teams back in the day were winning. And I mean that literally. So what the fuck happened?
You suck.
So here's my opinion. I think ever since the Twin Towers got hit, New York just wasn't the same. But there were a lot of reasons. Like the Knicks, for example. The Knicks haven't won a championship since 1970s. And it took Walt Frazier, a man with a fucked up hairline and can't dress for shit. The Knicks almost made it to the championship since Patrick Ewing and Latrell Sprewell. But ever since Charles Dolan gave James Dolan the Knicks, and gave Allen Houston and Amada Stoudemire too much money, or start trading good players off the team, or keep picking mediocre players from the draft pick, the Knicks haven't been the same since. The Knicks have been cursed. Not even Carmelo or Stephon Marbury couldn't get the job done. Heck, Jeremy Lin had his moment, and now they traded him. Now here's your future players. Their careers are about to be over. Even LeBron James and Steph Curry are mocking the Knicks. James Dolan just don't care about winning. All his fat ass cares about is money. I feel bad for New Jersey because they don't even have any teams left. I never understood why a borough deserved their own team. Since when Brooklyn became so special? They'll tell you how dope Brooklyn is, but this is how I always view it. I don't see the Nets winning a championship for a long time. You know your team sucks when there's empty seats in Madison Square Garden and the fans are cheering for the other team. Another example is the NFL. The Giants most recently won around 2008 and 2012, but just like the Knicks, they haven't been consistent and get the job done. The Giants are firing coaches and good players off their team. There were drama and more drama, and it seems like no matter how many times they tried and get their shit together, they failed. You'd think because they have good players, they can't lose. Guess again. Eli Manning lost his edge to the point he retired. And just look at the Jets and the Bills. The Jets haven't won since 1970s and the Bills never won a chip. At times, they may have a good season, but they never went to the Super Bowl. You ask yourself, why New York teams keep losing? Every team is laughing at us. New York Liberty been to 4 conference finals, but never won the championship. Just look at the Mets. The last time they won was in the 80s. Now they play like 80-year-olds. New York Yankees haven't won since 2009. Shit, the fact that A-Rod is an all-time paying player in baseball, but yet got away with taking steroids. It's a good excuse for New York to take an L. Not even New York Rangers can't win a chip. They haven't won since 1994. I can honestly admit on why New York is jealous of Boston. Cause they keep winning. But your delusional New York fans won't give up. All I know is New York have been cursed for a long time. When is the madness going to stop? Yes, all New Yorkers know that New York is overcrowded as fuck. You would think that the traffic is worse. Nah, son. Nah. Go to Manhattan alone and I guarantee you that you'll bump into people. It's hard for you to walk around a crowd of people, from trains to buses, even in clubs or store vendors. You have to deal with rude people bumping without saying excuse me. You have to worry about different types of immigrants who don't speak English, who ask for directions in a different language that you don't understand. You have to worry about tourists within the city. And any real New Yorker knows that tourists are the most annoying people on earth. And they come in packs terrorizing the city. New York has to deal with the stress with how many people are living in this state. New York being overpopulated is the reason why it's dirty and polluted. It gets crowded each year and it comes to the point people can't find any work because of it. It's because of the crowdedness, people are moving out of New York. Yeah, New York may be the money capital. Yeah, New York made hip-hop. Yeah, New York may have the best pizza. Yeah, New York may have the best views and lights, or the best in diversity in universities. But just like any bipolar or dysfunctional person, NYC have issues. New York could never get shit straight because of our corrupt system. gentrification going on, or how expensive it is to survive, or how bad our MTA is and how New York have to deal with the crowdedness, or how bad we have a rat problem and have the worst sports team in the world, or how bad our weather is the reason why people hate New York. But everything is all set up on purpose. It was designed to be this way. It's more than just celebrating New Year's Eve every year. New York is on its path of its own destruction. New York may be the mecca of states, but if it continues this behavior, it will be the next Babylon as we know it. The Bronx is a perfect example.
What did you just say?
Until next time, don't fear me, hear me. Rebel Mouth out.